my God. It's real. This is all freaking real. What an absolute mess, lads and lasses. How's it going? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. I think I've had some problems with setting up this second stream for some reason. Just another piece of shite to add to the very many pieces of shite we've got served today as Manchester United fans. Because let me tell you boys and girls something right now. That was as bad a performance in terms of it just feeling embarrassed for Manchester United, where we are right now, what this club has turned into. We're certainly not the team that we used to be, we all know that, but crikey man, it's a sad day when we're going away to West Ham and looking like the second best team throughout the entire 90 minutes. West Ham are an okay team, don't get me wrong, fair play to them, credit to them, they deserve to win today. They played us off the park at times. First half performance was completely dominant from them, and it was the most toothless, pussy, lacking creativity performance I've seen from a United team in a very long time, that first half performance. I mean, where do I begin? I'm just so frustrated and angry and pissed off with this one. We can't even beat shit in West Ham. We can't even get a point. Just when the teams around us are starting to falter, it's one step forward, one step back for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United right now. And we all know it stems from those shitting Glazers. But let me get into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the problems that frickin' Norwegian golem has at the moment at United. And I'm calling him that because, I mean it, I'm pissed off with his selection today. What was he doing out there with the selection? I mean, he selected the same team, the exact same team that just luckily got some sort of a result against Leicester City in the last game. He included players like Matic, who has been awful for so long and doesn't deserve to be anywhere near United's starting 11 based on the fact that he's bloody shitting useless, doesn't need to be anywhere near the team. Fred should have started the game, who incidentally when he came on for Matic today was absolutely laughably gash anyway. It just goes to show you and highlight the problems we've got in terms of depth at the club. We don't have the players, we don't have the quality, we don't have any sort of strength in depth. So fair enough, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's having to choose from basically what is a squad of just bang average players. We don't have the tools. We don't have a top four squad. So he's got to work with what he can. But still, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Matic should not be starting any more games for Manchester United. And he wasn't even one of the worst performers out there today, but he offered us absolutely nothing in the centre of the park. Passing it sideways constantly like a freaking Frankenstein crab. I'm sick of that guy, honestly. He's just not good enough. Same goes for Jesse Lingard. I mean, I know he didn't start the game today, but it's a sad day. It's a sad, sad day for United when we get an injury to Marcus Rashford, or aka Marcus bloody Gashford today. It's a sad day when all you've got to come on the pitch is Jesse freaking Lingard for him, not even a recognised striker in the squad. Why is that? Because Martial's out injured, Greenwood's got a little bit of tonsillitis, don't know what that's about, Ollie. Scored and played on Thursday night. And then we've got Rashford, who's picked up an injury today, done his hammy, out of action for a while. I mean, that is just piss-poor planning and a piss-poor performance by Manchester United this season. No wonder we're having a shite season, because as soon as any sort of injury problem hit us, we all knew it was going to be difficult, especially with key players in key areas like Martial. Take the goal scorer out the side, but you can't score any bloody goals, it seems. Oh, what an absolute calamitous situation it is to be a United fan right now. I mean, thank you to everybody that's joining me on the live stream. Do chuck a like on it and all that shit. But I'm just not in the mood today. I'm just so angered and frustrated by that. I was looking forward to a nice, entertaining, positive game just to cheer me up a little bit. And we get served that steaming pile of shite. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe the performance I just witnessed by a United side out there. I cannot believe it, man. Let's just talk about that. Let's go through the play. We talked about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his shocking selection, you know, playing Rashford up top there, even though it's evident he's about as good at striking as I am doing the 100-metre sprint, which is not very good at all and actually looks pretty freaking comical. And it's the same with Rashford up top there. It looks freaking comical. He's not right fit for the position. He can't... Did you see the opportunity he had in the first half? He got one-on-one with Fabianski and then he freaking melted. He absolutely melted all over the place. I don't get it. You're a striker, lad. You're playing a striker. You came through as a striker. You're one-on-one. Have a bloody shot at goal, Rashford. So I don't get that. But anyway, he's got injured. He's had to be substituted off for Jesse Lingard. Our injury crisis worsens. We don't have the depth up there. It's evident to see. We don't have the midfield depth. It's evident to see. Matic and McTominay. Sorry, they just don't offer us enough in there in terms of creativity. There's a reason United didn't create piss all today, because we don't have the players with the creativity in those two key positions, I think, that's required and that's needed. Other players didn't deserve to play based on form, really. Look, Mata, I've always championed Mata. I rate him as a technician. I think he's an intelligent footballer, but he was bloody absolutely shit today. Do you know, he played like his name was One Incher. Not Juan Mata, he played like his name was One Incher out there. And, you know, he missed that absolute sitter in the second half. It's like, sorry, Mata, you need to be dropped, pal. But will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do that based on form? Probably not. Otherwise, he would have done it already with the players like Matic and Mata and stuff who just haven't been performing recently. He would have given opportunities to other guys. He needed to make changes in that game, which he didn't do. He could have seen at half-time we needed a bit more bollocks and a bit more creativity in the centre of the park. Did he bring Fred on early enough? No, he didn't. Okay, incidentally, Fred was shy, but at least the idea would have been nice. Did he bring Angel Gomez on for a struggling Mata? No, he didn't do that. I mean, he did it all a little too late at the end of the game there, is what I'm saying. I mean, look, we've got problems, okay? The fact is, this is the situation at United. Our owners are absolute blood-sucking leeches who don't truly care about the club. They didn't strengthen fully. Our chief exec is an absolute potato-headed buffoon who doesn't know his arse from his elbow, and can't get the players in necessary for Manchester United to strengthen, nor does he even want to because of the Glazers. We've got a manager who's come over from Molde, and he's got sacked at Cardiff City, and he doesn't have the most experience as a manager. Now, fair enough, I don't want to jump on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer too much, but there's a couple of naiveties that he's shown out there, just selecting the big-name players based on what name they are or what they've previously done in the past in the Premier League. It's madness. Give it to the youth players, give it to the young players. At least then when we play shite and we lose, at least we know it was because we had some youth players out there getting valued experience, and maybe they're going to improve and get better, and maybe the future will be brighter. But if you keep selecting twats like Ashley Young, you keep selecting dickheads like Juan frickin' Mata and Matic today with their shoddy performances, if you select them the next game, I'm freaking done, man. You know, I don't think I can take seeing Static matches start another game out there. I just can't take it anymore. I mean, let's talk about the individual performers out there. Rashford up top then. Let's start from the top up. Rashford was absolutely bloody Gashford today, man. Barely any opportunities for the lad. He couldn't get in behind. Any opportunities he did get, he's just spurned them. He got that one-on-one opportunity with Fabianski, and you saw his he shriveled up. His balls shriveled up into little raisins during that attack. And unfortunately, you know, you need somebody with a cutting edge. You need somebody who's a bit ruthless. You need somebody with an eye for goal. He was just waiting for a teammate that was never coming. Have a pop on goal, Rashford. He was awful, and then he got injured. So for me, it's a truly terrible performance from Marcus Rashford in this game. Let's talk about the three players behind him. Daniel James, positive, but not that bloody positive. He did a couple of players at some point, got a couple of balls in, you know, not the word, he had a shot on goal, they hit the side net. Nice one, Dan James. I don't expect much from our new young signing anyway, you know, in terms of a consistent match winner for us or something like that. It's a bit too much pressure to put on the lad. You know, it's not like Rashford, who's been at the club for 3 bloody years at 21, who you expect more from. Pereira, look, Pereira, people rate Pereira. Pereira's bloody bang average today, I'm going to say it. I thought he's bloody bang average. Look, he's tried and he's worked and he's done all the things that a professional footballer should do. But nowhere near the standard that I'm expecting. Juan Mata today, Juan Incher, absolutely bloody useful. Sickened by that level of a performance from the man. He literally missed an open goal. A professional footballer should never miss an opportunity like that. So to me, he's come out of this game with a big smudge of shite on his face, and he perhaps should not be featured in the next game. Behind him, McTominay, he's shriveled up today as well. He's hit and miss at the moment. We've seen stuff from him that's been great lately. In the last game, he was great. He's been good here and there and here, but not all the time. And today was one of those ones where it wasn't the best performance from him. But, you know, he's young, he's learning, he's got to allow time for these players to improve. Static Matic, a.k.a. Frankenstein's crab, freaking monster, passing it sideways, doing nothing all game long. Dreary performance, disgraceful, shouldn't be anyone in this side. Backline, let's talk about the backline, let's get into it. For West Ham's goals, right, the first goal. My days, what a shower of shit we've got on the back there. We thought Jones and Smalling were bad. Might as well just take a look at 80 million Maguire and Lindelof, who just signed a new bloody contract to 2024, and say that what the fuck was everyone doing for that goal? Let's look at Ashley Young as well. That there's a couple of West Ham players just meandering around into space. Nobody picks them up. Nobody goes with them. Nobody marks their man. They're just allowed the space. They're allowed to play it in. They're allowed to play it in behind, and they're allowed to pass it into David De Gea's net. It was the most schoolboy way to concede a goal I've ever seen. Like, just try. Close it down. Get on your man. Stay on your man, goal side. But no, they can't bloody do it. had a bloody enough, lads. I've had enough of this shit. This Manchester United roller coaster. I want to get off because I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling sick with what I'm seeing at the moment at United. David De Gea, I mean, I didn't really put a foot wrong. Maybe you could say he got a palm to that free kick, which was an absolutely ridiculous free kick from Cresswell. It was a worldie. The wall shriveled up. They shriveled up into little raisin testicles as well during that, but it got over the wall and David De Gea wasn't able to keep it out. Great free kick, you have to say, by Cresswell. Fair play to West Ham. West Ham performed greatly. United, on the other hand, we didn't even really deserve. We didn't deserve to be on that pitch today. We weren't up for that today. The players, they didn't rise to the occasion today. Probably because we just don't have the players capable of doing that, I think, both in terms of quality and in terms of character. I'm not sure if these players are really cut out for the battle of the transitional period that United are in right now. You know, look at our midfield. It was funny, I was talking to Henry Hotspur the other day, my Spurs fan friend, and he's always giving it the big one about Spurs and the depth that they've got in midfield. And yeah, they've been doing shit recently, which is great, but he's right. Look at United's midfield and look at Spurs' midfield. They've got all these fantastic players in there that would slot right into United's midfield right now. It's like not one of Spurs' midfield is getting stopped by like a McTominay or a Matic or a Fred or even a Pogba right now, I think, based on form. You know, you're talking about people like Ndombele and even their shit backup players that they don't play, like Dyer and, you know, Winks and freaking, what's his name? Wanyama. And these guys, they'd all get into United's midfield right now. That's how shit we are. So, we don't have the depth. Look, what I would like to reiterate, yes, I'll criticise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when I see fit. These are just my opinions and thoughts on his selection. He's obviously a manager for a reason, and I'm a twat in a bedroom criticising for a reason. But these are my criticisms, and I'm entitled to them as a freaking fan of Manchester United. These are my criticisms, that, you know, his in-game management was piss poor, his team selection was piss poor, and I'm allowed to criticise him that way. But we all know the biggest problem at United is the squad. We got rid of Lukaku, we got rid of Sanchez, we didn't strengthen them. Smalling's gone. I mean, they're no big losses as players, but if they're going to go out the door, you expect to see somebody coming in the door to replace them, or, you know, lo and behold, improve the play, improve the position, improve the situation. Is that so much to bloody ask for from the Glazers and Woodward to try and look to improve Manchester United's team out there on the pitch, man? Is that too much to ask? It seems that it is. It seems that they're only willing to spend when we've recouped some of that money or when we've got another iron in the fire or a deal for another player on his way out. That's why we only signed a few players in the summer, probably, because we couldn't get the Pogba deal done or whatever. Real Madrid didn't want to come up with 150 million. We were asking or whatever it may be, and we'll probably only strengthen in January once we've sold Pogba or another player like that, if indeed we do sell him. And right now we need him. We need him. You know, I don't rate Pogba consistently for United. You guys know that. But he's better than most of the shite we've got right now. Unbelievable, isn't it? It's absolutely unreal. I know there's going to be lots of people jumping on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this chat, and I'm going to dive into it. But to you guys, I would say, look, he's not been doing the best job for us this season. To be fair, in terms of selection and in-game management, stuff like that, he's not showed the real tactical astuteness that we require from a manager, because he is managing that team of players out there on the pitch. And West Ham are a decent side, but look at our team. We still got some good quality players in there. You know, Juan Mata and Matic played in the correct system with the correct roles and all that sort of stuff. They're still going to be useful players, and I truly believe that. But with just whatever it is that he's got us doing right now, it's not working. I mean, there was no creativity in that first half. None. Fucking shambles. Anyway, thank you to everybody who's tuning into the live stream right now. I can feel it today. It's just going to be like one of those ones. Usually these rants, they really let me release all that pent-up tension and anger throughout the game that has been caused. But tonight, I just feel it's going to linger on until tomorrow. And then it's going to come back to haunt me on Wednesday too. Anyway, guys, get in the comments section. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that performance out there by Manchester United against shitty West Ham. Or should I say, West Ham against shitty United. Man United, because that is what it actually was out there. West Ham actually played great. Credit to West Ham. They fully deserved that 2-0 win. And it sickens me to say that, but it's bloody true. Any Hammers watching, you know, fair play to you. I'm not going to jump on you guys. I'm just going to say that you did well, but United did make it easy for you by being absolutely shit. My guy comments, Tammy Abraham makes Rashford look like Sunday League football. Well, Tammy Abraham scored like 7 goals in the Premier League already this season. In terms of qualities as an overall football, I prefer Rashford, mate, but Rashford is in a shite vein of form, and he's not a goal scorer, it turns out. So if you're talking about from a goal scoring point of view, I mean, Tammy Abraham's is banging them in at the moment. So, you know, that shows you what's going on. Portuguese comments, Pig is going to have a case of the Mondays tomorrow. You're absolutely right, mate. Having a big old case of the Mondays like an Office Space, pal. I freaking hate people who say that, by the way. But anyway, thank you for getting in there with your comment. Any comments? Gungshi says, have a couple of beers on me, Pig. That was disgraceful. Thank you very much, Gungshi, for your super chat, pal. I think I'm going to have a couple of pints of freaking vodka or absinthe or something after that performance, Gungers. Thank you very much, though, for getting in there with a super chat, mate. Much appreciated. Get your comments in now. I'm going to go in the comment section, see if you guys think that game was as shit as I thought it was for United. In terms of creation, heart, desire, passion, bollocks. All missing. All missing. Right, let's read your comments out, guys. Liam Cotter says, whoa, going to win the league. And Arathanks 28 comments, chugging some cough mixture tonight, boys. I'm going to join you. Thank you very much for commenting. Mussy Mabratu comments, what is Michael Carrick doing there? Paycheck. Well, look, I don't think we can really criticise Michael Carrick. We'd be better off if he got himself on the pitch. Answer me truthfully now. Answer me truthfully in the chat. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer put himself on instead of Rashford, and if Michael Carrick put himself on instead of Matic, would we have been any worse off, even at their ages with their lack of fitness? Would we have been that much worse off? I don't think we've been that much worse off, in all honesty. We've got a super chat here from my friend Northern Nightmare. How you doing, fella? Thank you very much for getting in here with a super chat. He says, you need more than vodka, I might get censored. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. Somebody needs to come and inject something into me tonight because that's how bad that I feel. But thank you very much for your super chat there, Northern Nightmare, and much appreciated. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's just a shambles at the minute, mate. I wish it was better. I wish we didn't have to drown our sorrows every single week and maybe we could celebrate with a pint instead of drowning our sorrows or whatever it is. But it is the way at the moment. It's just the way of the world. United are not the United we know and love. We don't look to be even on the right track. The thing I would say is, if Ollie was progressively playing these younger lads, I'd give him more of a break on performances like this in games like this, because it's not going to happen overnight when you're playing kids. But he's not really played the kids. I mean, Angel Gomez put in a great performance the other night against the Astana and has looked very good. Is he anywhere near the starting 11 today? No, mate. He's not. He's given the same old pick to Pereira and Mata, when he could have easily just given the opportunity to Gomez, who looked great. And okay, if fitness is an issue, maybe take him off after 60 minutes, but he didn't do that. And then Fred has looked good recently. Didn't play him from the start. He put Matic in there, which we know what we're going to get from Matic. And I'm not saying Fred did well when he came on, because he just plain didn't. But the idea is the main thing, not rewarding mediocrity. That's what all the previous managers have done. That's what Jose Mourinho did and we hated him for. That's what Louis van Gaal did and we hated him for. They selected the same old dross week in, week out, regardless of performances, just based on reputation and name and what they wanted them to see. And it just doesn't work out, doesn't pan out. You've got to play players based on form. And how debilitating is that to a player who sat on the sideline, maybe like Angel Gomez, who's thinking, do you know what, I could break into this team if I go out there against Astana and put in a great performance. He's done a good job, to be fair, better than what we've seen recently. Okay, Astana are not a great team. But either way, we beat them 1-0. City beat Watford 8-0. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, he put in a decent display. Why is he not anywhere near the starting 11? I don't get it. Mason Greenwood, good goal from him in the game. He's not even on the subs bench at all due to tonsillitis. I'd rather have a freaking half-dead, tonsillitis-raddled Mason Greenwood on the pitch coming on for an injured Rashford than a freaking pigeon-faced Jesse Lingard who's done nothing for way too long. I'd literally take Mason Greenwood if he had half a lung compared to bloody Jesse Lingard coming on as a substitute. So that is a bad call by Ollie. Not even having him on the bench. Worst case scenario, striker gets in. We haven't got a finisher on the pitch. What's going on there? Put old tonsillitis boy on instead. That's a better option. I truly believe it. Thanks to everybody who's getting in here with your comments. Much appreciated. Let's read some more out. Stevie Mack comments, when the profits are low because of the results, they cut more corners to balance the books. It will continue until they can't do that anymore. Sadly, Stevie, I think you're right. You've made an astute comment there. It's the Glazers, you know. Like, until it becomes not a profitable vehicle for them to just make money and sell the brand and get money in for literally whoring Manchester United out around the world, until they can't do that anymore, they probably will be here. If you're a business owner and you don't care about the local community and you don't really care about this great football club, which they don't, they own other big sports franchises, they own other big companies around the world. It's just a money-making enterprise for those guys. And being Americans, they're not like Manchester United, well, not to say there's not really passionate Manchester United fans who live in America, but they're not. I don't believe they are. And they're just businessmen who are using this as a vehicle to generate them money. And until that stops, they probably won't get out of this club unless somebody comes in with a huge £5-6 billion offer, whatever it may be, to get this club away from the Glazers. Until then, they'll just keep siphoning money out of the club. They'll keep selling the brand. They'll keep slapping our logo on cars and noodles and whatever else it may be that generates them money and all that sort of selling bits of the company off. That's what they'll do. It's a disgrace, mate. Thank you very much for your comment. Comment from Yogeshwaran Anivi, who comments, Greenwood is too young to handle mental pressure. Well, is he though? Because, tell that to some of the other lads in the side that are mentally supposed to be much more experienced, like Juan Mata today. Juan Mata's coming there. He's got a sitter of an opportunity. It's well set up by Pereira, to be fair. Actually, Pereira put a really great ball across. Should have been a goal. I ripped into Pereira a little bit, but that moment, that should have actually been a goal. He created a goal today. It just wasn't a goal, but he did actually create a fucking goal. So he created a goal. Mata missed it with an absolute sitter. slid across. Just don't know what he was doing. All the finishing of a freaking camel out there from Juan Mata. And, I love Mata. You guys know I love Mata. I rate him. I think he's great. I think he's a great experienced player. Don't play the next game, though, because he doesn't deserve it. Play it based on form, Ollie. Give him an opportunity based on form. Which is exactly why Gomez should have started, exactly why Fred should have started, exactly why Rojo should have started. No, I don't want to jump on Ashley Young too much, but he was at fault a couple of times today. He's over the hill, he's 33, he's a decent backup, he was good in the Leicester game, he'll have a good game here and there, but he's not consistently good enough. He's over the hill, that lad. He's just too clunge, is Ashley Cluns. And, if it was me selecting the side, I'd have played Rojo, because Rojo's given this opportunity in the FC Astana game. Okay, we're only playing a bunch of bloody Kazakhstani farmers. I get it. It's not AC Milan in the 90s, but he's still put in a good performance. He still had one of the standout performances of the game, which means that from a manager's point of view, you've got to reward that. Reward that with a start in this game. And yeah, he was blowing a bit and a little bit knackered, but he made the substitution anyway. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to give him 65 minutes then, because he looks like a player who's a fighter and is trying to get into the team. And he's prepared to fight. You could see that by how he was really working his socks off and creating a bunch in that Astana game. In a Europa League Thursday night, it's an opportunity for Rojo, and he took it. Was he rewarded with that good opportunity by taking that good opportunity? Was he rewarded? No. His reward is a place on the bench, playing second fiddle to Ashley Clunge. That was Marcus Rojo's reward for a good performance. What was Angel Gomez's reward? Sitting on the bench. Ole Gunnar's got it wrong. He needs to change. He needs to be progressive. He needs to give more opportunities to these young players, because the older players, it's obvious that they can't do it. We don't know if these young guys can't do it yet. It's obvious that these older lads just cannot do it. But yeah, tactically we got it all sorts of wrong today as well. Just think about the lack of creativity in that midfield. Think about that trident there. So you've got McTominay and Matic and Mata. I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing in terms of creativity in that midfield today. That's our biggest problem area. Forget that Rashford couldn't hit a freaking barn door if he was stood a yard away from it. He is literally... Our midfield is terrible. That's the engine room of the team. That's where the chances are created from. That's where we get the pacey wingers like James away, or Pereira and Rashford. We get these players away. So if you can't get the players away to begin with, it's going to be a very difficult time. That's all I'm saying. Like, we just couldn't create today, and anything we did create, we couldn't cap off because we don't actually have a recognised striker in the team. I mean, my days. That's the biggest one for me. Let's allow Herrera to go on a free. Our most important midfielder, a lot would argue. Let's allow Lukaku to leave on a free. Somebody who got, not on a free, but to leave for somebody who got 1 in 2 games. 1 in 2 goals, one goal every 2 games for us. That's 1 in 2. That's pretty decent, really. It's not terrible. It's certainly better than a lot of the shite we've got around. Let's get rid of Alexis Sanchez, who, yeah, even though he's a complete Bruno Mars wannabe and was bloody useless for us, is still a useful player to have around the club. I don't have a problem getting rid. It's just the fact that we didn't get the new players in to replace. That is why you're seeing this shower of shit from United at the moment. And it will continue to be like that while the Glazers are here, because they're never going to put 100% into trying to improve this club. They only put money generated by the club into it, and they're taking money out. And, frankly, they don't care. They don't care as long as it's ticking over. As long as it's ticking over, they'll just let Man City be Man City, and they'll let Liverpool be Liverpool, and they'll let Abramovich do what he wants over at Chelsea. And those teams will probably get, Chelsea will probably get further ahead of us over the next couple of seasons, just simply because I don't think the Glazers really want to fully invest in this side. If they would, they'd have spent a huge amount in the window. You know why? If it was me and I was the Glazers and I had all the money at my disposal that United generates and that United has at their disposal, I would have spent a lot of that money, and I would have financed spending more money by selling the shite players that we got, because I could tell that being 32 points behind our bitter rival City in the league is a disgrace. That is why I would have signed more players in the summer. And that is why the Glazers are never going to be the right chairman, right owners for this club, because they're not prepared to do that. They don't care about United's best interest at heart. And I hate to talk about this every week, but that's what it comes down to. You can talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all you want. He's a scapegoat for the Glazers. I said it during my live stream. He's a scapegoat. That's all he is. Just like Jose Mourinho was, just like Louis van Gaal was, just like David Moyes was. David Moyes was the biggest scapegoat of them all, because he was coming in after Fergie. And we all knew it was going to be a nightmare. But the fact is, they don't make it easy for the managers. They don't give them the right tools. They don't give them the right players, the deep enough squad to be able to really go and challenge for top four, which is a disgrace to even say that, because United should be challenging for the title every single year. The huge club that we are, the brand that we are, the commercial entity that we are, there's no reason we can't compete with Moneybag City and all those guys financially. So the problem is, we just don't put everything back into the club. We don't have the owners that truly care and truly want to see this team win the title every single year and be that colossus that we were previously. We don't have that. Because we all knew we were, a midfielder, a creative midfielder to replace Herrera, a defensive midfielder as well, a winger and a striker. We all know that we're at least those 4 players away from having a squad good enough, capable of challenging for the top 4. Michael Shows comments, the main problem is the training. Even with quality players, the tactics would be poor. I mean, today's really, and maybe the Leicester game though, but we won that one. But today's really the only time I can truly criticise the tactics. There was just nothing going forward, no creativity, no verve. After the first half, the 10 minutes opening in the second half were much better, but then it just went to shite again. But I hear you. But in the other games that we've been unlucky and maybe we've lost, we're not unlucky, but not good in, we still went at it in the right way. We still created, we still went for them. Things just didn't go our way, missing penalties in a couple of those games, things like that. But we still got at them and went for it. Today, we didn't even do that. So that's what the biggest thing that concerns me is today, is the tactics displayed by the team, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, were just completely ineffective and completely wrong. And we didn't have an answer to West Ham pressing us early on in that first half. They just kept doing their thing, kept pressing away, kept working away, eventually got that goal. They just outworked us today as well. Like, the players do need to take something from this, that they need to work a little bit harder. I think they're just not quite committed enough. Not to say all of them aren't. Players like Wan-Bissaka, his commitment is without question. Ashley Young today worked even if he wasn't good, he worked his socks off. And Daniel James, same thing with him. I mean, there was one challenge that Daniel James made today where he's full-blooded, gone in, he's nicked the ball off the opposition, and it's like a less than a 50-50 really. And he's gone in there, put his body on the line, rinsed in at the last moment and stolen the ball. And that's the sort of commitment I like to see. And if that was a player like Pogba, I don't think he's doing it. So, Matic, there's just some players out there that just don't seem that arsed that United aren't doing great at the minute. Right, let's read a bunch more of your comments out, then I'm going to wrap this video up, lads and lasses. But thank you very much for getting in here for the live. I'm just so deflated after this. Opportunity for us to get back on the positive, and we throw it away at the first possible chance. Classic shit in United at the moment. Comment here from Gungshi, who says nothing much at the moment, just part-time. Oh no, hang on, sorry, that's a personal question you were reading. You were responding to somebody, but thank you very much. Shout out to you, Gungshi, anyway, for getting in here and showing your support as you do. Guidarji Richard comments, and Woodward is so dormant. I don't see his role in the club. There is no role for Ed Woodward in this football club other than being a human potato head, or perhaps a financial advisor. Like, to be fair to him, he's an ex-banker. He's got a financial background. He's actually good for the Glazers at generating deals for the club and selling bits of the club off and branding products with United's badge and all that sort of stuff, and bringing deals in. He's good at that sort of stuff, which the Glazers, that's all they want from him. They're happy with him for that. But that's all that he's actually good for. In terms of being a football man, in terms of bringing players in terms of getting players out, He's just not up to the standard, I think. We all know we've been crying out for a director of football for a long time. Ed Woodward is not that man. He's not that man. He should actually take a step down into a financial position. That's what I'd do. If I had the best interest at heart for Manchester United, if I was Ed Woodward, if I wasn't just the little Glazer's lackey, their urchin boy, then I'd actually take a step down, because I know that if we got a football man in there, that would probably be in the best interest of the club to make this team better out there on the pitch. And I can still focus on getting financial deals in for the club to generate money, which we can use, which we should be using to buy players with. But either way, that's what I do. Now, Woodward is not that man. Matty Newham comments, Woodward is a slave for the Glazers. He basically is, yeah, he's a yes man for the Glazers. That's what he really is. Gungshi comments, not so good at the actual football stuff, is old potato head, brackets the prick. I mean, that's a good description of him, really. He's a potato-headed prick. He deserves that moniker because of his lack of bottle and his lack of being able to bring quality into United over the last few years. Any big deals he's made for us have turned out to be shite. He ruined United's wage structure by bringing Alexis Sanchez in on 400-500k a week and made it difficult for us to retain certain players or even attract players without them expecting huge amounts of money. So he ruined our wage structure at the club, and that is terrible. We should have never done that. Right, Jarvis Cocker says, I missed your super chat. Sorry if I've missed anybody's super chats. I'm just going to go back and read them now quickly before I go. Jarvis Cocker super chatted. Thank you very much, Jarvis. He says, Matters a tosser, missed an open goal, Ollie in. I mean, that was a terrible performance from Matter today. I'm always championing the lad, but I can't defend a performance like that when he's created nothing. He's barely gotten the ball. I mean, come half-time, I'd completely forgotten that Juan Mata was even on the pitch, man. He was that bloody useless. And then that second-half performance where, you know, he's missed that sitter. I mean, come on, man. My freaking amputee granddad could have stuck that one away in his wheelchair. So I think that Matt has had a nightmare. He's had a true nightmare today. It happens, players have nightmares, but if you have a nightmare, then you shouldn't automatically get into the next team. I think that's what Ole Gunnar has done wrong. He's been rewarded mediocrity throughout this season already. If somebody puts in a bad performance like Lingard, needs to be dropped. Somebody puts in a bad performance like Matic, needs to be dropped. Mata needs to be dropped. You need to drop bad performers. It's just setting the wrong example for everyone. And then the young lads who are trying to fight their way in the team, they're thinking, well, I just put in a decent performance in the half an hour chance that I've got, the rare chance, and I can't break in the side. It's just not fair, is it? It's not fair. You know, Ollie does need to take a lot of the brunt for this because he's selected the team and the tactics and everything, the coaching, all that sort of stuff is responsible. Ole Gunnar's responsible for. So he does need to take a lot, but he's not helped by the shite that we've got currently owning the club and in charge of the club upstairs, obviously. He's not. Just a couple more comments in, guys, and then I'm going to have to go and try and unwind, because I'm bloody absolutely ruined tonight, or today. I mean, it's only 4:30 on a Sunday. Should be nice and relaxed and chilled out now. Looking forward to a nice evening, chilling with family and friends and all that sort of stuff, but no, no chance, because we've got United in our hearts, and unfortunately, the people at United don't have enough heart. That is the problem. So we're seeing all sorts of terrible stuff going on, and it's just making us a bit sad, isn't it? I think it's true. I think you can get depression from football. Anyway, Andrew Corsonda comments, If I am Ollie, I will use formation 4-5-1 to Anzibi, Rojo, Maguire, Lindelof as back four, then in the middle, Bissaka, James as wing backs, then Fred, McTominay, Gomez and Pereira in the front false nine. I mean, that's pretty crazy, isn't it, mate? Fair play to you, though. I mean, personally, Andrew, I think that's crazy. To put Bissaka up. I mean, I see what you're saying there. I mean, maybe more defensively sound, but it's crazy. I mean, but to be fair, we don't have the striker. Like, I see what you're saying, we don't have a striker. So Pereira as a false nine. I mean, I can see what you're saying here. Or maybe like a 4-3-3 with a false nine with James and Pereira on the... Oh, I don't know. It's amazing that United are in this situation, though, where we've got Martial injured, we've got Rashford injured, Green was currently out as well. We've got no other options at striker. I mean, what is that about? What do we do? What do we do now? What a mess it is. What a true mess. Leeds the Fallen Vlogs comments, Ollie is drunk at the wheel. I mean, some of the selections he made, he must have been pissed out of his head when he made them. I think what's happened is, like in what is it called? Mike Bassett, Football Manager, when he's picking the England team and he writes his team name down on the back of a cigarette packet, and then he goes to training, England training the next day, he gives it to whoever's, supposed to put the letters out to the players or make contact with the clubs to say that they've been called up for international duty. He goes up to training the next day, and there's Benson and bloody Hedges from fucking League Two side turned up to training because he's written it on the back of a cigarette packet, and some twats misread it as Benson and Hedges being called up to the international squad. That's the only reason that some of these players are in the team, surely. Surely, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been smoking or drinking or whatever he's been doing, whatever he writes his team name down on the back of a cigarette packet, and the cigarette packet's called bloody Matic and freaking Mata and Lingard or something. It's a crazy brand of tobacco. Anyway. Right, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up there. I haven't got the strength to carry on tonight. You know I'd love to. But everybody who's tuned in, thank you so much for getting involved in the post-match live reaction here. And the watch along earlier. You're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour, if you are in here tuning in live to this live stream, smash a cheeky little like on it. Get your thoughts and comments in after this video has been published in the not live comments, and I'll respond to them in due course. If I've not responded to you, I apologise. You know I'd love to. Tweet me if you want at Mr. Flying Pig HD, and I'll try and get back to you in good time. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you do have a good week. I know if you're a United fan, it's not going to be great, especially when City are battering sides 8-0. And United are losing 2-0 West Ham. I mean, it's so depressing. We've not got a lot to look forward to at the moment. I just hope that United can turn this around. But obviously this season's I'm basically just done with this. This season's done already, isn't it? This season is done. I mean, I know it's early, but look at the squad. Look at the injury problems. Look at the depth. Look at the fact that we can't get anybody in until January. And even then, the Glazers probably won't fully invest. So that's the way it is. Right, guys, take it easy. Have yourselves a bloody good one. You've been watching the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you very, very soon. And United, Manchester United, Manchester you shited, Clownchester United, Brownchester you shited. Whatever the fuck you want to call them. We're absolutely shite at the moment and lacking any sort of real quality, backbone, depth. Anything, direction, progression, where is it, evolution? It's not existing, we're just in a mess at the moment. That's how I describe it. Let me know what you guys think, but for now, thank you very much for watching the live match reaction. I'll see you soon, take it easy.